I don't think we can get away from saying that Neymar wasn't at his best. And we saw in the last 20 minutes Neymar being showman again.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Robert, because that was the issue he had before when he arrived the first season. If you remember, there's that last 16 first leg at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid, and he wants to do everything on his own. Every time he gets the ball, he wants to dribble past Varane and Sergio Ramos and Navas in goal and Carvajal and Kroos and Modric, and in the end he just loses his game, and PSG doesn't benefit anything in it.
See, when he's got his football head on and he just wants to be a footballer and do the right things at the right time, he's a world-class player, one of the best in the world, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But he then becomes a showman, and it's all about him. Even in the first half, because everybody's been talking about him working much harder, there was once in the first half where he chased around the back players. He was never going to win the ball. He wore himself out, but he did it for show. You know, he chased Kimmich. He then went to Sula. I think Sula played it. He ran after. He must have run for about 30 seconds chasing everyone, but he was never going to get near the ball. But it was almost, look at me, I've worked really hard. And then when the game wore on and things weren't going his way, that's when he lost his discipline, and you know, he started rolling over and throwing himself to the ground and not playing the right pass, getting deeper and deeper so he could get on the ball rather than playing in that number 10 role so he could pick out his passes. And that was disappointing for me.
He's always been so good in finals, in the Copa Libertadores when he was really young with Santos, at the Olympics, with Barcelona in 2015, even if Messi was so good that night, he also scored and was good. And I think maybe he built this game up too much in his head. I don't know, maybe the pressure got a little bit to him at the end. Maybe at the end, when he felt like we're going to lose this, frustration got to him and he thought, okay, I need to try to do something. I struggle more with Icardi not coming on, I have to be honest, and Tuchel bringing Choupo-Moting. I know Choupo-Moting had a great cameo chance against Atalanta in the quarterfinals, but that chance, for example, right at the end, you know, it's a little ball from Mbappe to Neymar, and then Choupo tries to do some sort of like back. I think Icardi could bury this one.
Yeah, I think Icardi played himself out of the team almost, didn't he, with that performance?
Yeah, but
Icardi's a finisher.
At the end,
he's a finisher.
Yeah.
But I think that something must have gone on that Tuchel didn't like the way Icardi played, and he didn't really show enough ability to get hold of the ball and make things happen. But yeah, Icardi, if he wanted a finisher, he's going to be much better than Choupo-Moting.
I know, that's the thing I didn't get. Even Di Maria coming off and Draxler coming on, I struggled a bit with that, and I was like, I'm not sure this is right. And I think they lost a bit of momentum, and maybe because Bayern has so much control, he tried to do something different and bring Draxler on that can bring you. He can take on players maybe a bit easy, maybe better than Di Maria.
And the bringing on of Verratti I think is a wonderful player.
Yeah.
But the way they had to play in midfield was quite a wide three, because Herrera had to go out and stop. He had to come in narrow at times. Then he had to go out and stop Davies getting forward. Yeah. Same with Paredes on the other side. When you brought Verratti on to play next to Marquinhos, Verratti wasn't going to make any forward runs. He couldn't get out to Alfonso. So he wasn't fit enough. So I'm not sure that was a good move either.
Yeah, no, you're right. And talking about Tuchel, would you, if you were Leonardo, the sporting director, would you keep him now? So he won the domestic treble. He took this team to the final, albeit losing it, which no other managers in the PSG history had ever done. Is that enough to keep him? He's got one more year of his contract as well. Would you keep him?
I'm sure he's a very good coach, but I don't see any empathy between him and the players. He looks very isolated at times. And I think when you've got those amount of players, great players, some excellent players, you've got to have some sort of empathy. And I don't see that with Tuchel at the moment. So I'd be very tempted to remove him from the job and get somebody like Pochettino in, who I think would be ideal for PSG.
Yeah, I mean, there were rumours on Sunday. I got a few messages, people saying, there's talks about him being sacked. And then Pochettino, Allegri, or whoever they can find who's available, or go and get somewhere else to come in. I don't know. I think a part of me thinks that he deserves another season to try to see if he can build on this. You buy another right back, because Kehrer is a good player, but he's not a right back to start with, and I don't think he's good enough anyway for this kind of top level.
Because Kehrer, when he was playing before, he was at the right side of a back three rather than a right back.
Or centre back is probably better for him than a right back. You'll have to replace Thiago Silva, who is leaving the club. You could bring Marquinhos back down to his base position with centre-back, but then you still need to buy a holding midfielder, like a world-class holding midfielder.
Could Verratti not do that job?
I don't think he can. He's
not good enough defensively.
And in the air, and you need someone I think really strong there. So they need to find somewhere there. So I think if you tweak this squad a little bit, you could become better, you could become stronger, and you'll have another good next season. And I think part of me thinks Tuchel deserves that, but part of me also thinks if Pochettino is available, being a former PSG captain, PSG defender, knowing the club, knowing the city like he does, having that warmth that you said is a bit missing for Tuchel, but also the technical knowledge. And I think Pochettino could be potentially very good at the position. So I think there might be a bit of a dilemma there for PSG. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, Leonardo's the main man, isn't he? You know, when in the tunnel at half-time in the semi-final, and against Atalanta, who's the person that's geeing up the players?
You're right.
Leonardo. Talking to the players at half-time, he's meant to be higher up the hierarchy.
And Tuchel is not his man. Tuchel was already there when Leonardo came back to the team, and I think to the club. And I think as a sporting director, you put key people in your people in key position, and the manager is the most key of them.
You've got the same understanding, you've got the same philosophy, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and maybe a relationship that you already had before, like Allegri and Leonardo, for example, which doesn't exist between Leonardo and Tuchel. So we'll have to follow this one. I think the good thing is that Mbappe and Neymar will be there next season. They've said it already. No one can afford them right now anyway. And just quickly, because there's a lot of people on Twitter who've send me messages saying PSG don't deserve to win the Champions League because they're owned by Qatar, it's the oil money, you don't deserve to win, you don't deserve to be happy and whatever. Listen, I didn't ask for the Qataris to take over my club. You know, I didn't choose them. They chose PSG to invest in the club. They're trying to build a team that can win the Champions League. Of course, I'm not okay with being owned by a country that doesn't respect human rights and that has issues and it's conflicting in my head sometimes. I'm a PSG fan since I was 4 years old. Again, I didn't choose the Qataris to take over my club, but I still want my club to do well. And I know I've got friends who have stopped supporting the club, who have not renewing the season ticket because they don't agree with Qatar and Qatar owning the club. And I respect that and understand it. I feel a bit differently. I would rather have the club being owned by the fans, for example, or us having a big voice to do in the club, but this is not the case. And as long as they try to do the best for my club, I try to not really think too much about what happens in Qatar. Maybe I should more, but please stop the messaging about, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve that. It's hard enough to be a PSG fan anyway, and I was there when they almost went down 12 years ago to the second division, for people to just give me the all money line and the Qatar line and the this and that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.